And we're live, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, the weather.
Right?
It literally, you guys, I don't know if you saw it. Oh yeah, you were on there, Sino. Like when I showed it was like pouring crazy.
Oh yeah.
And it like never rains here, so it was just like really unexpected and nuts for me because it's really hot where I live. And literally the day before, it was not even kidding you, like 112 degrees.
Yeah, this past week, like the last month here in California, it's actually been pretty mild, like in the low 80s, especially for the summer, because usually in July it's like high 90s, low 100s.
Yeah, I
This
used to
past week
live
it
in
was
LA.
really, really humid.
Yeah, that's like the one thing I really hate about when it rains. Like the next day, I was just like sweating all day because it was so humid. I bet it's like worse there. I don't remember because it's been so long since I lived in California, but is it like humid um like is it usually like humid for like a week or so after it rains, or is it usually just like
For
a
like a
day or
couple days, depends on where you live. Like I'm in Southern California, so it's actually not too bad, but
cool?
it just depends. Like there's a part of the summer where it's just like really, really humid heat, like humid heat, where it's like actually 88, but it feels like 95 or 100. Like that was this past week. It was just actually pretty bad. But compared to last year, it was actually pretty mild. So I'll take whatever I can get.
Right? And like my friend lives in where do they live? I think they just moved to San Francisco and they said it was like 78 degrees yesterday. Is it cooler in San Francisco?
It still gets hot in the summers, but uh,
Yeah.
I've had friends who went to college up there, and it's like it gets really, really cold, but then it gets like really hot during the summers too. So I mean, not as hot as down here from what I've been told. But it is what it is.
Dude, um, Phantom was telling me about this website where you like, I wish I remembered it now, but they have all these like random questions. God damn it. But it was really fun because when we went on his stream, we like were reading a bunch of like questions off of it, and so it just like made it more fun because it was just like random like questions to answer.
I'm pretty sure any Google search will pop that up, or like a different bunch of questions. I've done that too on some of my older streams. It's like
I want to
random
say that it
questions.
was like I want to say it was called like wheat or something random. Let's see. I'm probably totally off. Let's see. Random question. And there's like this other website where it's like people go and they like it's just like you it's just a whole like anonymous website where you just like leave notes and it's just like a like random anonymous things like like I killed
Oh, they
my
still do
mother.
those?
What is it?
They still do those kinds of things? Those
Yeah, I can't
websites?
remember what I found it through the Chive.
No,
And do you guys know what the Chive is?
no. It just sounds fun.
Oh
Mm-mm.
my gosh, you guys have to check it out. Evo, have you heard of the Chive?
Uh, I haven't heard anything new in ages, so you may have to walk me through it.
Okay, well, it's just this really funny thing. I'll DM you guys the thing, but it's just like funny pictures and stuff like that. Like, there's a bunch of different categories that are like, one of them is like nailed it, and it's all these like things like signs that are um, one of the letters is missing, so it spells out something funny, or like
Hmm.
just like stuff on just like different pictures of like people took like a person like trying to jump and they'd missed, like the ledge or something, and it just has all these like funny like categories. Let's see. Okay. Oh yeah, like the other website I was telling you guys about, it has, like one of the things that I read recently was like I killed my mom and no one will ever know.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, and the website that I'm talking about, it's funny because it has a whole entire like category that has to do with dating, and it was like, how would you react if this person said this? You know, like if a girl asked you this or whatever. Okay, so I'm on this website and it's called Conversation Starter.
Actually, the thing you mentioned earlier, it reminds me of a thing back on MySpace. For those people who remember MySpace, there was a thing called
Yeah.
the Crush Calculator, and I can't believe how many people fell for this. Like the people that would do this. All right, so it was like a website, right? And you would put in your name and the name of your crush, and then it would say submit, right? You would say submit, and it would
Uh-huh.
like somehow people got in their heads that it would like calculate your chances of ending up in a relationship and having it work out with this person just based on your name and their name. But actually, what it actually did, the person who posted the link that you followed created an account, and they got to see the name of the person that you put in as your crush and the name of the person who submitted it.
Oh, crazy. I probably should have put the thing up um, earlier. This is what I did last time. Is I kind of didn't give anybody notice. I'm gonna type on Twitter too, even though I don't really go on Twitter, but I go on Instagram
I
mostly.
hope you, yeah, I hope you didn't mind. I shared the link, the video on Twitter and tagged you in it, so everybody will
Oh
know.
yeah, of course, dude. You do you, boo. You do us. Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing.
and I just smoked my last cigarette, so
Oh my gosh, I did too.
damn, may have to go out in the middle of the night to Walmart and, or maybe it's a 24-hour gas station to get another pack, but I don't know. I know it was raining like cats and dogs. I would say yesterday, my time, when I was at my Pathfinder game, and yeah, you never know when it's gonna rain again.
Yeah.
And
No, like I was saying, it's so random. What part of you live in the United States?
of course.
Okay. Hey, I don't know. One of my really good friends lives in the UK, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm always surprised. A lot of my viewers are like from other parts of the world. Like I have a lot of fans like in the UK or like a lot of people like in Sweden, surprisingly, like Norway, South
Yeah.
America, a lot of people in Canada.
Yeah, that's what
And
like a lot of people that I talk to on Instagram are from Canada. Like one of my good friends lives in Canada, or he's from Canada. He's touring musically right now. He does the dubstep.
the dubstep.
Yeah, you guys should check his music out. His stage thing is called Dat Sick.
That sounds kind of
I don't
familiar.
know. Yeah, he's gotten pretty big the past couple of years, but he's like someone that I was friends with like as a little kid. And then, he blew up because like, electronic music has been big the past couple of years.
Mm. Yeah.
Let's see. List of questions to ask a guy. Okay, let's see. Ooh, this one's good. All right, I'll ask you guys. Um, I'll ask Evil first, and then I'll ask Sino. Well, you guys can both answer, but okay. So if you could learn only one magic spell, but it could only do something mundane and boring, what would that spell be? Or do? What would that spell do?
Uh, my spell would involve telekinesis, mainly because I don't know. They got to float things in the air and fuck with people.
Want to learn the force? That doesn't sound pretty boring.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. You could have telekinesis, but it could only do like small things for you. So like you can like do anything really cool. You could only like get your keys or your like remote when you're lazy or like you know what I mean? You'd have to have like a very mild telekinesis, like you couldn't do anything cool. That's why it says it has to be something mundane and boring.
You can
So
only
your
move things
Kind of
within
like
telekinesis,
18 inches
emojis.
of your reach.
right? What about you, Sino? That was a good answer though.
I don't even know. I've never thought about stuff like this. I'm already stumped on the first question. Something mundane. A spell. Hmm. Uh, man, but it has to. But then it gets you when it says mundane.
I know.
Cast a spell, but it has to be. You can only use it for mundane things.
That's why like telekinesis would be perfect because it would like be like you couldn't really do anything cool with it.
Probably
But
like erase something from someone's memory. I don't
oh
know.
yeah, that would be cool.
But then I could only like erase
Mm-hmm.
mundane things like that I was 5 minutes
But you
late to
couldn't
work.
erase you couldn't erase like important
Yeah.
things like from their mind. So you'd have to it'd be a learning curve because you try to erase something and it'd be like nope, that's too important.
Hmm. Well, hopefully the next question is better.
Yeah. Some of these are really stupid.
Yeah, this is one of them.
Like, let's see, this one that I just passed was what was your best drop the mic moment? Like, what does
Oh
that
my
even
god.
mean?
Can we find another set of questions? Can we please? These are not getting
I know.
your
Let's
best
see.
drop the mic.
I know.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Um,
Well, that's depending on who's dropping the mic.
yeah. No, let's see. And it has like a random picture of a treehouse. um, Sino, you should find something too to ask questions. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the initial search because literally all these questions are really dumb. Let's see. Funny random question. Okay. Okay, here's a good one. I'll just say this one and then tell me when you find something, Sina. Okay. So would it be harder for you to tell someone you love them or that you do not love them back?
Oh, I'm on the same article.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, Buzz Nigeria. I'm on the same one. 40 random questions you can ask someone. To tell someone you love them or that you do not love them back. I don't really think for me either one of those is hard, but probably the first one because I have no problem telling someone I don't love them back.
I agree. I think it's a lot harder to like put yourself out there and tell someone you love them.
Let me find another list.
What about you, Evil?
Well, I've always told some people that I love them, you know, but it's always easy to like get shot down when you really like this person, and I don't know. I'm kind of rambling on, but sometimes it's easy, and sometimes it's just like, why do you even bother? You know,
Yeah.
if it's just gonna be a waste of time.
All right, Sino, you pick one.
All right, let me. In the meantime, while I find another one, let me ask one of these questions from the same
Yeah.
site, Buzz Nigeria. Let's see. Uh, wow, these questions are really corny.
Mhm.
Name, like, look at this one. Name three things in nature you find most beautiful.
You go first, Evil.
uh, trees, wildlife, and the babbling river.
Well, there goes like 98% of things that we could give as answers.
Well, I would say trees as well, just because like they're so good for us. They give us oxygen and everything. Um, like I think it's really cool. Like this is a really specific one, but have you ever seen like a flower growing out of the crack in the sidewalk?
Yep.
I
That I think is
I've
really
definitely come
cool
across
because
those.
it's like struggle, It's like surrounded by concrete and somehow it made it through. You go, flower in the sidewalk. Oh, we have to name three. And then yeah, water. it's just, you know. Well, okay, would this one count? I like walking barefoot. That's kind of a thing to appreciate nature, right?
Sure.
Because then, so it would be more like the ground then, you know, to appreciate the ground, walking on the earth.
I would vouch for that.
You got us in this hippie mode, you know.
Yeah. By the way, Chad, welcome to the stream. I saw your comment just now. Here's
Oh,
a better question, but it's a pretty quick answer. How big is your bed?
See, like it's like, oh, cool. Hey. Okay. So, do you want me to pick the next question?
Sure, go for it.
I did not have my chat thing up, so I didn't even see. Okay. We'll do like a couple more of these questions, but then I want Sino to talk about his new channel. Let's see. Yeah, these questions are so horrible. Do you like to shop?
Yeah, those questions are really.
uh, let's see. what part? What part? What is your favorite part of the human face? Like, oh my gosh, that is such a dumb question.
Favorite part of what?
One of the questions says it's number 25. It says what is your favorite part of the human face?
It's like
Okay, we'll go with this one. What?
it was like it's like on like the bet like my favorite part on my face on the face of somebody else like that you find the most attractive that you can't live without. It's like I don't know what the
This
question
question
is asking.
so
Your favorite?
yeah.
Your favorite in what sense?
Right? Okay, oh, this one's a good one. What music are you listening to right now?
Right now, none.
You're boring.
Well, I'm not listening to music because I don't want like.
Oh, okay. I think it means like what music. This guy. I think it means what music are you like currently is your good. You know what listen to right now, or like what artists have you been into lately? But yeah, it's
okay.
oddly unspecific. I'll spruce the question
a lot of these
for
questions.
this. For this.
Like lately, I've been listening a lot to because I got like the 99 cent. Well, it's not a free trial, but it's like the 99 cent 3 months trial for Amazon Music. So I've been listening like the last few days to the Talking Heads radio station. So I guess like new wave, if you want to call it new wave.
Oh, cool. What about you, Evil?
It's been so far. As recently, I've been listening to a mix of Seether and Nirvana and Nine Inch Nails. So pretty much grunge industrial mix, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, perfect. Oh my gosh, my music taste is like just crazy. Let's see. Oh, I've been listening to Tyler the Creator's new album, and then I'm listening. Let's see. I'm trying to look at what I listened to last on my phone. Crystal Castles and this band called The Foxing. Have you guys heard of that?
Nope.
Mm-mm.
You guys know? Have you ever heard of the band Scary Kids Scaring Kids?
Yeah.
I've heard of them, but I never listed them.
Oh, you should check them out.
Definitely.
That's why my channel's named Scared Kid Nancy, because my cousin was the singer of that band. So that's where I got my name from.
Yeah.
They're really cool. They're like alternative rock and yeah, screamo kind of.
Sounds like my forte.
They're good. It's not your forte?
I say it sounds like my forte.
Oh, I was like, oh, perfect.
All right.
Yeah, I listen to like old school rap to like screamo, like death metal, like I listen to a lot of stuff. I've actually not really been into techno music lately, even though I'm like really good at spinning poi, which is like
Mm-hmm.
I was into electronic music like in 2006, like before it was cool.
Oh wow.
Now everybody's into it.
Yeah.
That's so hipster of me to say.
Yeah.
Sino, you put first.
Yep. I'm wondering
This
what hup
game.
hup hup means.
Me too.
What?
Yeah, that's in the chat. Chat put hup hup hup
Up, up, up.
HUP 3 times. So I know it's not a typo because he posted the same
Mm.
one 3 times.
Oh
Random act
goodness.
of chat right there, man.
Right? So,
Yes.
what is your new channel gonna be about?
I don't know. I'm kind of trying to figure that out because before my channel got suspended, my other channel, I kind of had the scare like 2 months back because I had like three other like subsidiary channels, and like the first one got the strike. And when you get one channel suspended, they give you the thing when they tell you, in the email they tell you your account has been suspended. Know that
Yeah.
you can appeal here, but otherwise, you're not allowed to like create or like operate any other YouTube channels, like as a content creator. So, like
So,
one by one, they went through and they knocked out each one of my channels until they got finally to my main channel. And then, I put up a video letting people know and telling them to follow me on, with my social media and stuff like that.
yeah.
And some people followed me over, but a lot didn't. Obviously, when you have 10,000 people, it's hard to
Yeah.
get. And I'm kicking myself because I didn't start like a mailing list earlier to, I never saw this coming. Obviously,
Yeah.
I would have planned accordingly,
And
but
it
I've
sucks because
never really.
it's like they took all that hard work that you've been doing and just like shit on you, and now you have to like start over.
Pretty
But
much. And then it's like, I'm really kicking myself for not having done that. But like, I did get some people to follow me over to my new channel, but it's like just
yeah,
like a handful. It's like the hardcore of the hardcore. So it's like out of 10,000, I got like 25, 30 people over there.
yeah,
So it's like I've been like the past month I've been just like trying to appeal and like getting denied to YouTube. So like that's been taking the majority of my energy. But it's like now I'm thinking like, should I just like take it as a loss and try to build a new channel? And if I do, am I still going to keep doing the stuff I was doing on my old channel when it's like, the people really didn't follow me over? I mean, I've gotten messages from some narrators saying that people were asking about me, like what happened to the channel. But it's like, I don't know. At this point, it was like, obviously they weren't like invested enough to like follow me in the first place. So it's like, I don't know. I'm still kind of on the fence about what to do. But
yeah,
also the big thing is, it's like, I'm trying to be this time around not just be so dependent on YouTube. And I've been getting some support on Patreon and PayPal because I don't know how the whole AdSense thing is going to work. Because
yeah,
from what I've read, I've been reading pretty much 50-50 about what happens. Because like my AdSense, which is how you get paid on YouTube,
yeah,
is still open, and I did get my last payment from the month from what I was owed by YouTube. I got paid, even though my channel
yeah,
got suspended, which I was thinking wasn't going to happen. I thought I was fucked out of like 2 months of payments, but they paid me last month. But like now I'm trying to see if I go to the work, because like now they have the thing where if you launch a new channel like me, you have to you can't automatically get approved for monetization. You have to get 10,000 views, and then from there they quote
right,
unquote review your channel. So like I'm nowhere near
yeah.
10,000 views right now. So it's like then I have to apply to get approved, and then I don't know if I'm gonna be able to connect my old AdSense to my new channel. So it's really really up
Dude,
in the air.
dude, they have to let you because that's stupid. Like, it just makes me like terrified, Because like that's what like a lot of people don't know, but like Goodnight Goosebumps and Sino were like there since I started my channel, and Sino is one of the first people who gave me a chance and like really helped me, and that's like why we stayed in touch pretty much like the whole time, and like that's why like I really want to help you with this new channel because I didn't really know like the extent that like YouTube really screwed you,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Chad says hup is
But
like jargon for them to acknowledge.
oh yeah, I said hey. My chat wasn't open for a
No, he
while.
says because you know how I was like, what does hup 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 mean? And he says that it's a word for
Yeah.
it's like a like saying like you're acknowledging something. So it's like because I gave
Oh,
him a shout
oh,
out,
okay.
it's like him acknowledging the shout out. So
Oh.
that's what that was.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, but to
Um,
I guess get back around to the question. Now I'm rambling, but I don't know what I'm gonna do with the channel. I mean, I did post the last video that I uploaded on my old YouTube, and it's really not getting a lot of views, and I just don't know if that's because the channel is so small. I don't know, like it's really weird. But I mean,
yeah.
on my old channel, I really wasn't getting that much like circulation anyway. So I'm kind of,
Yeah.
I mean, except for the monetization thing, it could be like a blessing in surprise, a blessing in disguise, and that like
Yeah.
starting this could be the blank slate that I guess I not needed, but it could be like a nice blank slate to because I was kind of getting over the narrations. It kind of was getting old a little bit, but I
Yeah.
don't know.
It's
Uh,
yeah, and it's really hard because like I don't know if people know this, but it's like there's so many like horror channels now, and you put in a lot of work for like no pay, and a lot of times horror narration isn't like a poppin' you know category, so it's really hard I think to get subscribers, and I'm barely getting to the point where I'm feeling like burned out on it, but so I know where you're coming from. So I don't know, like I don't know how people could get upset for you at you for wanting to do other things. Like I put in a toy video every once in a while because it's
mhm.
like but I guess it's just because people want to come to your channel for horror narrations and don't really care about other stuff. But I think that all channels shouldn't just be like one category. I think that you should be able to play Grand Theft Auto and stuff, and people because they like your narration, so why not?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, and a big reason to change behind me. Originally my channel was like it was a gaming channel. I used to upload GTA videos, but it never really got much in the way of views. But like
Yeah.
the narration stuff really took me by surprise when it happened. But then like when the whole like copyright thing started happening with narrators, because a bunch of people were like, because it's like, hey man, it's on the internet, so like it's free. I can just narrate it. Like it's under fair use. Like that annoys me to like no end. Like the whole
Yeah.
like people are so ignorant, especially like in the horror community. A lot of people are really ignorant, and they're like, hey man, like it's free. It's fair use. I can use this. What do you mean? You own the copyright. Like I can narrate the story. I don't need your permission. But like when that did happen, in so many channels, like the big channels were taking a lot of hits, and the big channels were backpedaling really really quick. So it's like, man, it's like I really don't want to be dependent. I'm not. At that time, I was like 4,000 subscribers, but it was like I'm not getting any subscriber submissions like a lot of channels of comparable size were getting. And it was like I was really dependent on Reddit stories. So it's like I want to do something where I'm not like if I can't get permission to feature a story, like I can't put out a video. And it's
Yeah.
like sometimes you would like I would submit for a story like for permission, and you wouldn't hear back from the author for like 2-3 months. So it's like
Right.
I'm dependent on the other authors, to give me permission to use the story to create content. So I was just looking at ways to like find other stuff to do on my channel now that I had an audience and see how many people
Right.
would stick around. And actually, whenever I would stream, I would lose like 5-10 subscribers, but I would gain 5 or 10 new subscribers. So it really wasn't any loss. But then again, at the same time, it wasn't really any
Right. It
positive
was
growth.
leveling out.
Yeah, it was like you're pretty much saying you're taking 2 steps forward and 2 steps back. But I just wanted to do
Yeah.
something else so I wouldn't be so dependent. Now that I did have a little bit of an audience on YouTube, and the majority of people were, obviously they didn't do the same amount of views on other videos, but most people were respectful. But then you would get the people who were like, "What is this? How is this horror related? I don't get it." Like they would just post that comment on a video. They'd be like, "Okay," but and then you would have the people who like for whatever reason, like the last comment that I got, I actually posted it on Instagram, a screenshot of it. The last comment that I ever got was from one of the people that was like one of the most like one of the oldest most supportive subscribers that I ever had on my channel, but like they tuned out for like a year.
Mhm.
So like they were there for like my first year, but then like it kind of fell off the map. And then like
Yeah.
they posted a comment on a video that was 2 months old, and they're like, "Oh, I'm so sick of you being so fucking lazy. Like I've heard these stories a million times. Like stop
Jeez.
being lazy and using only the
God
popular
damn.
stories. Like I've heard these a million times. Like come on, like these stories are so old." And I didn't even reply, but I'm like,
Mhm.
whenever I got comments like that, it was just so funny. I would just take like a screenshot. Like I know people that I know a lot of I know a lot of YouTubers. It's just funny to me because I don't know. I've never let people like that and their negativity like affect me. But I know a
Right.
lot of YouTubers who I'm not going to mention their names because some of them are actually pretty friendly with me. But like they'll go in the comment section and they'll like try to re-educate these people and these trolls, and it's like I just take a screenshot, post it on Instagram, and move on with my life. Like I don't go
Right.
out of my way to like it's like the old what's that old quote? Arguing with a fool only proves that there's two. So it's like
Right.
you're entitled to your own opinion. So it's like I'm not going to try to convince you that you're wrong and I'm right, or try to get you because it's like some people, if somebody has some constructive criticism, I'll always listen. But it's like if you're just bringing foolishness on there, like I'll the only time that I'll really invest is like I'll take a screenshot and share it, and I'll just move on with my life. But you have a lot of people, especially in the horror community, who are like really sensitive to like any criticism or like trolling, and like they get really defensive, and they'll go like and type, I mean, like huge paragraphs, like you know what you said isn't right. People work really hard to for these videos. You should have constructive criticism. You don't know the work that we do, and it's like they don't care. Like I don't know. I've never been of that mentality. I don't know, but
Yeah,
it
I
was just
agree.
funny to me. It's like bitch, this video is 2 months old, so like it's not my fault that you're just now seeing the video and you're saying that these stories are old. So I don't know.
Right.
It's just funny. But yeah,
Phoenix.
on this new channel,
Is
I
it?
was
Hey, wait a second. Phoenix. Was your tag used to be the amazing deer?
oh Phoenix
I
is
feel
here.
like I recognize
Hey Phoenix.
or something. Is it? I don't know what I'm saying. I just recognize their profile picture
Yeah, it's Phoenix.
from
Yeah, she's a big
yeah.
supporter. Scary
Yeah, yeah.
mask, night vision camera, and read a story live in the graveyard in the woods. Actually, that's really similar to an idea that I had for like a video series. I was thinking about, but see, this is what I was gonna do when I went to New Mexico last year. I had a bunch of people like a month in advance. I told people on YouTube, and this is why I'm like I was like whatever about it. I never did it again. But like last year in August, like pretty much a year ago, I was going to go to New Mexico. So like a month in advance, I was telling people like, hey, like let me know if you guys live in or around Albuquerque because I'm going to be there next month and we can get together and do something if you want to meet up, do like a mini beat or something, or like go out to eat or for drinks or whatever. And I got a lot of feedback from people, people emailing me and like, yeah, we'll meet up and do something like that. So then I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to be in town for like 4 or 5 days. These are the days. Like, let's get this together. And then we did. And then like I show up and like miraculously, like all these people who were like in contact with me for like a month, like were indisposed. You couldn't get a hold of them. So I'm like, okay.
Jeez.
I'm like, but like an idea that I had was to get a bunch of people together,
Bless you.
like around the
Thank
campfire,
you.
because I remember like a bunch of channels started copying like Mr. Nightmare when he would have the videos of just
Yeah.
like the campfire. Like remember,
Uh-huh.
he would have a video of just
Right.
like the campfire burning and the sound of the wood burning,
Right.
like, and that would be the video, and then he would be narrating the stories. So
Mm-hmm.
I'd be thinking, well, I think it'd be pretty cool, like a different kind of a thing where you had like a group of people narrating, like around a campfire, kind of like Are You Afraid of the Dark? So
Right.
that's what I was kind of
Dude.
thinking. I thought that would be a really cool idea, but I just never got around to doing it.
And
Yeah, we should
Sino,
do this.
oh sorry, Evil, go ahead.
No, I was just saying we should definitely get together and do that kind of stuff, man.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Is like I have this idea with like a couple of friends of mine, and we're gonna go to an actual like haunted house
Oh,
and
nice.
film what we're doing and put it up on my channel. Because there's a couple like haunted places that we looked up, and I'm just gonna wear an alien mask, so I don't do a face reveal. But like that like I was thinking of that, and then like you should do horror stuff still. Like that's such a good idea. We should do that. Cause that's like
I'll think about it.
I'm kind of burned out on like I do. I like narrating still and everything, but I'd like to like switch it up. You know what I mean? Like when we watched,
Yeah.
did you submit for Rainbot's thing?
Nope. I actually
Well,
never
she
liked
did
it,
this.
honestly.
Well,
I remember
she
when she
did
first
this.
came out. Like man, like 2 3 years ago when her channel first got big. I remember she made a
Uh-huh.
video when she was like, I mean, she had like a really bitchy attitude in that video. I don't know if it's still up, but I remember like it was when she started getting like maybe like 3 4 thousand subscribers, and then she was talking about how, oh, thank you guys for all the support, but it's like I'm not going to be doing scary story narrations anymore, so stop asking me to do them, or something along those lines. And I'm like,
Jeez.
wow, like I mean, there's ways to like break that kind of news to your viewers, and there's ways not to. And it's
Right.
like when you take that, I don't know, I've never like people that have that holier than thou, sanctimonious tone, and
Yeah.
you can tell people like that, and a lot of those bigger channels are like that, and
Yeah.
it's just like wow, like that's so blatant. When I can tell when people talk down to me, I'm like, yeah, I'm never coming back. And I'm not one of those people where I go in the comments and I'm like, I'm unsubscribing. I'm just like, I left it and never came back. Because I've had a lot of people like that in my chat, and they'll be like, oh man, like they'll get into arguments with people in the chat, and then they're like, so look, you're being mean to me. I'm like, you kind of started it yourself, and it's like, I'll tell them to stop, but it's like you're not helping your situation. And I'm like,
Right.
all right, so, I'm unsubscribing and I'm gonna leave. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, do what you gotta do. You know, I'm like, if you feel like that's what you need to do, then do it. And then they would put in the chat like in parentheses, such and such has left the chat. And I'm like, dude, it doesn't say that when you leave the chat. Like, you're obviously posting this to like get a reaction out of me. I'm like, dude, I'm like, it does not say that. Like, dude, this is not like AIM.
Does
Like,
not inform you
it doesn't
when they
say, yeah,
leave.
like such and such has left the chat. I'm like, oh man, like now I know you're like a little kid. Like, wow, like that was just so incredible. It was so funny to me. But it's like, I don't know, it's just funny.
Yeah,
Going
I
through the
don't.
chat, yeah, Phoenix and Deer are two different people.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know why. Like, yeah, the Amazing Deer. I was thinking about it right now.
Yeah,
When I
that's
first
different.
started, she used to follow me a lot, but
Yeah, she's been MIA for a bit. Well, Phoenix too, but like, there's really been MIA. She like, I don't know, she fell off the map.
yeah, I remember because she was like really supportive when I first started, and then kind of just I don't know if I thought it was just like me, but
Yeah, but I get it.
uh,
It's like I go through my things too, and it's like I think that's like the nature of YouTube. Like you go
oh,
through and you like
definitely.
you binge all the all these genres, and then you're like, all right, I kind of went through everything. I went through the motions, and I'm kind of burned out. So I'm just gonna like
I know.
tune out, or you either tune
Don't
out and you find
get
something new.
attached to people.
Yeah, you either like I'm talking about viewers, but it's like people like they get burned out or
Yeah,
they find something else to start watching and they fall down that rabbit hole. But like eventually, a few months
yeah,
later, they come back. Yeah, I always had my group of regulars in my streams, and then they would go like
yeah.
disappear for a few months and then randomly come back um, on a video on a new video a few months later.
Yeah, I was thinking about like ideas because I feel stupid right now for forgetting her name. Um, Starts with a K. Evil.
Uh, I can think of one person, and that's Katie World, I believe.
Yeah, 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 yeah. She does narrations live. Like, it's really cool.
No,
And I've been trying to do a collab with her, but I just don't know how
Well,
we
she
would.
does have a. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, it's okay. I was done.
No, well, I have been talking to her on and off, and we're doing another collabo for her channel. Um, I know, I know, I saw on her Facebook that she started a new job, and the last time I talked to her, she went through orientation, so she can be very busy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
Well, that.
mean, but she's the type of woman that doesn't rush things, so uh, a wait and see type thing, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, yeah. I just thought it was like cool because it's like kind of a new thing. I haven't really seen too many like horror channels that read live, and I thought it'd be cool like um to do something like that.
Yeah, I always thought about doing my own live stream where reading my own narrations. Unfortunately, I kind of stumble on some of my words, and I'm kind of chicken shit when it comes to stuff like that. I don't know about you or Sino. That's just me.
Yeah, I've had people
Well,
recommend to me to do like a live reading, but it's like I don't know. I'm too much of a perfectionist, and it's like at the times that I would stream is really not the times when I record. If that makes sense. Like I record and stream at different times because I like to record when it's like perfectly quiet and I have really noisy neighbors. So like when I would be streaming, I don't really care so much about the the neighbors making noise. But when I
yeah,
do record, I like it to be quiet and just be able to focus. And I don't know. I just think like the same thing. I think I like to do multiple takes when I record. And I don't know. I just never I never like the idea of like live streaming a live reading of a story.
yeah. Right, like and like as far as like that goes, evil. Like I I don't like I don't usually like nail it first time, but I have gotten a lot of practice just from what's up? I've gotten a lot of practice just from, repetitive like reading and stuff like that. But even when I record, I usually read through the story a couple times just so I can get like, the context of stuff, like when there's like a spooky part, coming up. If you just read
Yeah,
it through once, you can't really like prepare for that because then you just kind of read it in monotone and it's not really like scary. Like you're like, and then the person entered the room. And if you read it the first time, you're like, and then the person entered the room instead of, and then the person entered the room. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So it's like, same thing. If I did a live reading, I definitely have to read it through a couple times. Hey, what's up? My people, my people.
Chat's starting to grow now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I definitely get what you're talking about. I mean, I'm in this group chat on Skype with a couple of narrators and oh shit, I dropped my phone. A couple of narrators and a few new friends that I met. I know. I don't know if you know them. One of them goes by Dark Paradox, and the other one goes by Rainier Lewington. Lewington. I can't pronounce his last name to save my life.
Hmm. I don't know.
He. I
I
know he was
kind, I
like
kind of,
part of the.
yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
kind of got a like bad rep in the like very beginning because I won't say who, but like one person said I was like a bitch, and then like kind of like the whole group of people I started with kind of like thought I was a bitch, and then I kind of just like a lot of people didn't want to work with me because that one person said a bunch of bad shit about me.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it was just kind of like depressing because I felt like I didn't do anything wrong, and I like kind of just stopped like collaborating with people and just kind of like stuck to my like own self.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of shitty, but I'm definitely over it now. So
Yeah. Well, well, I'm glad you're over it, and you gotta breathe in the good shit and breathe out the bad shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
yeah.
but when I was saying, some of them, some of the friends or fans that we talk to, they they want us to do like a little live reading to them. You know, I mean, I started reading to a couple of people just to like get some practice, and already like two, three paragraphs in, I stumble on my words, and I don't know if that's considered good practice since it's not like a live stage type scenario. I mean, what do you think?
Well, yeah, it's just like I said. Like I definitely was looking at my recordings from the beginning, and it's just like anything, practice, makes perfect. And it's like the more you read out loud, even just like when I'm looking for stories, I read them out loud just to get the practice in. And then you
Hmm.
just become more comfortable. And there's even words like when I'm reading, I have to Google the pronunciation because like I can't, I don't know what that word is. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
that never really happened to me too often. Like just once or twice where I had to Google a word, and I always did it, especially because it's like, God, it's the internet, and it's like people just cannot let shit go. like they have to go in there, like you have the grammar Nazis, and then you have the people who are like,
right.
you mispronounced this word, and it's like the funniest thing in the world. It's like, because I mispronounced Meyer because I don't live in the Midwest, so I don't know about Meyer. It's like it's kind of like Walmart. It's Meijer, and I thought it was just Meijer because I'm like, oh, I don't need to look it up. It's probably just Meijer. Like who's gonna nitpick that in a 1 hour video? But like you had the one group of people who were just like relentlessly like, oh wow, you pronounced Meyer Major. Like, okay, like now we can build a bridge and get over it.
Right.
It's like yeah, I kind of remember that because it's like I made that like the top comment, and I'm like yeah. If you just took 2
Yeah,
seconds and read the comments, you would see that they are like several people have already pointed that out. But I don't know.
yeah. I have some trouble with words still because I went to school in elementary school in Germany, so I'm
Oh
like
wow.
I'm not like 100% good at English, and I'm not 100% good at German. I'm just like a mutt, like you know what I mean. So it's like like I'm taking an English class right now that's like a advanced programming, like a kind of like a honors class or whatever. So I'm trying to get better at it. So yeah, like uh, we can't all be great English people like you, Sino.
I know, right? It is quite unfortunate. Yeah, but getting back to the live reading thing, it's like I like my inspiration is always people like I always listen to those old like radio broadcasts from like the 30s and 40s, like before TV got really really big. Like the one I always call back to is like the Orson Welles one where he did War of the Worlds. It's like just
Mhm.
incredible. Like people did this all in one take live, and it was like it
Yeah,
was so great back in the day because it's like they just cut right into War of the Worlds, and people like legitimately thought that it was like the end of the world when they were doing
the world was
that
fucking
they were doing
ending
the
because
radio
it
play.
was
It's like
so
so
great.
incredible. It was
Yeah,
like I mean that's a goal for me. Like if I do keep narrating, it would be to be like that kind of a level where you can just like read a story. Obviously, they had a lot of practice, and they were stage
right.
actors and things like that. But it's like to be able to go on the radio live and to read a radio play like that, and that's just incredible. And I think it applies the same way to oral narration because that's like I think that's like the modern, not equivalent, but very similar in modern terms now, where it's like audiobooks and oral
Yeah.
narration and stuff like that on YouTube now.
And and it's like when you get more comfortable like with your reading, you get more comfortable like my roommates sometimes they laugh because I get so into it. Like the parts that are, dramatic, I'll like start speaking like louder, or like when it's the parts where it's like somebody speaking, I change my voice for like a guy or for a girl. And like it's just like something that when you first start reading, it's not really something you're comfortable with, but you just like get more comfortable with it, and it comes more naturally. So that's just something like evil that comes with time, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Wouldn't you say so, Sino?
Yeah, it's like I remember when I was really getting serious about the narration stuff. It's like I would watch a lot of videos about people who do voiceovers, like voiceover actors, and people who do like voiceovers for
That's my
commercials, and
dream.
it's like really incredible. It's like I mean, you see, uh, I would watch a lot of videos. I forget the name of the channel, but there's like a channel dedicated just to like interviewing people who do voiceovers and narrations, and like seeing them in the studio actually recording the lines, and it's like incredible because it's like I mean, there's just such pros that they do. Like there was a guy who did like he did an ad for Toyota for like McDonald's and like all these like really big companies, and he did them like almost all exclusively like in one take or like 2 or 3 takes.
Yeah.
And it's like he just went through and knocked them all out back to back to back to back, and like in one
Yeah,
recording
that's
session.
like
And it's like
when I watch.
wow,
Yeah, I like to watch like anime voice actors, and it's just like amazing, like their vocal range and talent. Like, I'd love to do an anime. That'd be so sick.
it's
No, no dead silence.
let's see what are the other questions.
You wouldn't hear.
I
Yeah,
found a
that's what I was
list.
Wouldn't
gonna
I
hear.
say.
found a list of like 800 questions. Let me see if I can.
Okay, I'm gonna look for a better list too.
Let's see.
I'm
All right.
telling you.
Random question 279. Have you ever milked a cow?
I have.
I haven't.
Nope.
Let's see.
And I look. Yeah,
What?
and I
What?
live
What?
out in bumfuck country right now.
Yeah, I kind of live in the middle of nowhere right now too. What happens
Let's
when
see.
you get a scholarship?
287. Who's your favorite villain?
Mm-mm. My favorite villain. Evil, do you have one like right away?
I have a list. Let's just say that.
Oh wow. Who would be on this list?
Yeah.
eh, oh, pretty much everybody's favorite or least favorite, the Joker. Not the new Jared Leto
Oh
one. I mean,
man.
like the old school Mark Hamill Joker.
Oh, that's great.
He knew how to. Yeah.
The Batman the animated series was one of my favorite TV shows growing up back in the day. Yeah, Suicide Squad is definitely like on the list of like worst movies that I've seen in the past year, and I've pretty much
Yeah.
seen them all. And it's like that was the only movie I've ever like fallen asleep in. I went to go see it opening night, and I fell asleep like 30 minutes into the movie, and I kept like nodding off and waking up, and I woke up like the last time that I kept trying to fight, falling
Yeah, I
asleep
was really disappointed in it
because it was
too.
a pretty packed theater. But like the last time that I woke up in the movie was the part from the trailer when they're like releasing the Suicide Squad from jail and they're like giving them the weapons. And it was just like I woke up and I turned around and I saw the screen and it was like the line where Will Smith was looking at his gun and he said something like, "Y'all jokers are crazy." And I was like, yeah, that's it. I gave up. I'm going back to sleep. Like I'm not even gonna fight anymore. I just lost any will. I'm like, that's it. Like I'm like there's some force out there, call it whatever you want. Like there's some force out there who wanted me to wake up and see this and be like, yeah, just stop fighting it. Just let it go. So like, all right, whatever. And
Dude,
I just fell asleep and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back because I want to be sure when I say that this was one of the worst movies, but I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to put myself through it. I already want to go see both versions of Batman versus Superman. I'm not doing this shit again.
yeah.
I never went back to go see it. I figure like if you put me to sleep, like you don't deserve a second chance.
Yeah, definitely. Dude, I was thinking now, like my favorite or least favorite villain, I guess, is it's from this comic book called the Omri Wars, and his name's Wilhelm Ryan. Have you guys ever heard of it?
I know you did a live stream of
Yeah,
that comic
yeah,
book at one time.
yeah. I didn't get very far into it, but that's like my favorite comic book series, and it's actually written by the singer of Coheed and Cambria. And Zero asked, "What is the best concert you've ever been to?"
I saw the last concert that I've been to was probably the best one. The last big concert. It was Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers at the LA Forum, and it was on my
Oh,
birthday. So it was like the last night of the tour, and it was on my birthday. So I went to go see it. It was at the LA Forum, and the opening band was Steve Winwood.
oh,
So
cool.
yeah, that was the best one. And you can even add this to the question, which is the worst concert. The worst concert I've ever been to was the Foo Fighters opening up for the Police at Dodger Stadium, because that concert just wouldn't end. The Police kept coming back and back. They did like 4 encores, and it was like, man, after like 40 minutes of the Police, I'm like, yeah, I'm over this. I'm over the
Dude,
Police. Like, and they went on for like 3-4 hours. I'm like, they just wouldn't go away. I'm like, oh yeah, cool. Like they're done, and it's like, oh, second encore. I'm like, okay, now they're done. Oh god damn it, third encore. It just wouldn't end. I'm like, oh man, like people stop cheering them. Like I want to go home.
yeah.
I feel like Bubba from Forrest Gump. I want to go home, but
Dude, I don't know about that. I've been to so many concerts. I actually went on Warped Tour with my cousin's band. That was pretty cool. That was like a million concerts at once.
Yeah.
what about you, Evil?
Oh shit! I'm sorry. Yeah. I guess it's my
What's the
turn.
best concert you? Yeah.
The last concert I ever been to was back in like 2014, 15, and that's when Foggy Molly was on tour at the House of Blues down at Houston, downtown Houston.
Nice.
But my most favorite concert I ever been to was Linkin Park when Thousand Suns was the Thousand Suns tour, and that was like
Dude,
after Chester lost his voice for like a few weeks or so, and they had to postpone until after February. I
dude,
mean, the
one of
last,
my favorite concerts was a Linkin Park concert too.
yeah.
It was like one of
In
my first
reality,
ones actually.
yeah. And I was looking forward to like seeing them in concert this year, but after what happened to Chester, I was like, dude, what the hell? And I
Yeah.
hear what he was going through, and I was like, shit, man.
Yeah,
Why
dude,
didn't
that
anybody?
sucks.
Yeah, why didn't anybody stop him? I mean, you know what? I can't talk about this anymore because it's just gonna get to me
Yeah.
again.
Gonna
But
get
yeah,
triggered.
Thousand
Dude,
Sons tour.
yeah, it's like, it's like I want to do like a suicide awareness thing, but it's like, there's like really nobody that can really help you when you're so depressed like that. You know,
Yeah,
you can like people could tell you all day that they love you and care about you, but like it's like, when you're depressed, you don't believe them.
yeah,
So
yeah. But by the time they really do reach out to help you, it's gonna be too late. And I'm not saying this as an asshole type thing. I'm just saying people like well, say for instance, I used to be that way when I was in high school, and hardly anybody reached out to me because they thought I was doing it for attention.
yeah,
And I only had one friend tell me, "Look, you can't let these people get to you. There's no reason to be acting this way." And I kind of ran with it. I mean, that she pretty
yeah,
much
it's
told
good
me
that you
that
had
when
that person.
yeah, she pretty much told me this after she saw the cuts on my arm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it,
shit's
it's not pretty.
crazy. Yep, like my cousin that was in the band, he died from a drug overdose 2 years ago, and it's just like, and he was a singer and everything too. So like when I found out that Chester had killed himself, it like brought up all those like past like you know feels.
Damn, I'm sorry,
Okay,
bro.
we got to get out of this depression cloud. Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
Next question: do you guys watch Game of Thrones? This is from the chat.
Oh yeah, Game of Thrones. Dude, I have like not watched it. The last thing I saw was Jon Snow died, and obviously he came back. But that's the last season I watched.
I'm way
I don't
behind
have
on Game of
cable.
Thrones. I stopped. I fell behind like mid season 2, so I'm way behind. But I do
Yeah,
follow some of the clips and like highlights. But I'm way behind as far as the show. And it's like in the last season, right? It's the last
yeah,
season.
yeah. It's in the last season. I'm
It's not even
so
done.
far behind.
I'm actually a late bloomer with this show. I mean, I just barely started it or watching it 2 weeks ago because a friend of mine that's on Discord, asked me, "Hey, you want to watch Game of Thrones?" I was like, "I'm not really interested because I never had HBO at the time,
Yeah,
but I'll take a view." And I took a look at it and I was like, "Okay,
it's pretty good.
it's pretty much yeah, it's pretty much medieval shit." And I was like, I could have just
And
watched the pop
incest
in Lord of the Rings for that kind of shit, but I heard there was tits.
and incest.
Oh dear God. Now I'm not a fan. Nope. 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 Nope.
Yeah,
Nope.
it's pretty messed up.
Yeah.
Dude, I went to I typed in funny questions and it like brought up like the same like two websites that we already looked at.
We're getting
Like
pretty good
as
questions in the chat,
the
actually. Chat says, here's a good question.
oh
Do
wait,
you
wait.
fold or wad your toilet paper? Let them dirty secrets out. Fold.
Oh,
We're
oh.
not animals. We're not savages.
My chat kept going off. Okay,
Yeah,
wait. Okay.
I'll keep tabs
Do
on
you
the chat.
fold or wad your toilet paper?
Yeah, fold. We're not savages here.
I
My
def
fault.
I actually had to
Sorry,
look
guys.
this up because I was actually interested in this question. I was wondering how. I mean, because I've never asked, because it's never a question that I'd be interested in actually getting an answer from an actual girl about. But it's like the girls that wear like the really long ass fingernails. I'm like, how do they wipe? And I actually had to go on Reddit forums, and I
Oh
actually
yeah,
got some
that's
pretty interesting
how.
questions
Because
about that.
with your nails, you have to wipe with like the toilet paper wrapped around
Yeah,
your.
you have to do it. You have to do it like folded like a mushroom, like a mushroom.
Yeah, you put the toilet paper up where your like fingers start, and then you wrap it all the way past your fingers, or else yeah,
Yeah,
you get.
I'm like that. I'm like that makes sense, but it's like I would not want them serving me food or like shaking my hand. I still wouldn't trust them.
Oh my goodness.
This
It's
live
like,
stream just became lewd.
those girls that have like the really, really long fingernails? Imagine that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
that shit would break off if you wrap just your fingernails.
that's
Fourth grade? That's a long time, I think.
Wow.
I don't know how people are in fourth grade. That was a good question, Chad.
that's
Dude, last time I did my stream, I had like 100 people come. So I was expecting more people to join. That's okay, because now we can be more personal,
that's.
Right.
you know? So we can actually
Oh,
get to everybody's.
here's an interesting question: do you still have a camera that uses conventional film?
I do.
I do too.
Repeat
I'm
that one more
actually
I
time.
thinking
love.
about getting back into using like camera on film.
Yeah, I have like a couple.
Mm.
I have like a really old Canon that still has film,
But yeah,
and
like
then I have a. Dude, I have this digital camera that has like uh, it's not an SD card. It's like an SD card, but it's like the size of a PS2 memory card. It's like this
Damn.
huge, like slot, and you can only take like 20 pictures on it. It's crazy.
Zero says, anybody ever recognize you in person? Well, none of us have pretty much
I
tried
haven't.
face reveal, so.
Oh yeah, so you haven't done a face reveal either,
Well,
huh?
I did on my vlogs channel when I still had my channels up,
Oh,
but
did you?
no, I haven't. I haven't been recognized in person. Not a
The
lot.
one
A
Uh,
lot of people live. A lot of
actually at my school, somebody recognized me because like I was kind of dumb in the beginning when I started my channel, and I added people on my personal Instagram. And then once I got like around 20, 30 subscribers, I made an Instagram just for my channel. And then like, my channel got bigger and the people that added me in the beginning still followed me. So some of those people know what I look like.
I would
I do.
honestly. I wish people would recognize me. Then they could be like, "Let me buy you a beer." I'm like, "All right, cool." Via
Right?
voice, I know Critical got it once. No, not even by voice. Or if they did, like nobody's ever come up to me. Maybe people have like recognized somebody and been like too scared to like go up and be like, "Oh, hey, are you this person?"
Oh
But
yeah, that's interesting. I didn't even think of it that way.
not even by voice. I've never had anybody come up to me. Unfortunately,
That'd be crazy though, right?
yeah, that would be pretty crazy.
I
Hmm.
think you'd have to have like a really like distinct voice or like somebody who really watched your stuff. Like I think if I like saw like Court's husband in real life, I think maybe I'd recognize his voice. But even like other people that I listen to that are bigger, I don't think I would recognize their voice.
I hardly
Who?
get anybody. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, who's critical?
I'm not sure. Let me see if I can
Hmm.
find them. Probably someone in the horror community,
Yeah, I'm
actually,
guessing.
to be recognized by their voice. Okay. First best.
Okay, so Chad asked sour gummy worms, warheads.
I've never had either of them. I'm not really big on
What?
sweets. I don't really. I've never really had a sweet tooth really.
Sour
I'll eat
gummy
regular
worms.
gummy worms. I've never had the sour ones.
Dude, you should try
Um,
the sour ones. That's what my vape juice is right
yeah,
now.
I've never had a cavity in my life.
Have I met a celeb? have we met celebs?
Oh,
I've
video. He's a
actually
video
met
game guy.
a
Okay.
couple people.
I met a
Well, I
couple.
would say my friends.
Yeah,
A
I've met a
couple
ton of. I've met a lot of celebrities.
I've
Like
met a
I've met a
couple.
lot of the cast from Breaking Bad several times.
Really?
Met yeah, because they did like a. I remember I went to town in 2013 for the last season. The first time I went to Albuquerque, I went there and like
Oh,
literally like
crazy.
right as I was getting into New Mexico, like leaving Arizona, not raising Arizona, but leaving it. When I got out of Arizona and I got into New Mexico, like I went on Instagram and there was like a Breaking Bad fan page that I follow, like still do, and they were posting about how one of the actors from Breaking Bad, Gus Fring, Giancarlo Esposito, was going to get like a lifetime achievement award at one of the local theaters in Albuquerque because it was premiere weekend for the last season of Breaking Bad. So they're like, oh, they're gonna do a screening of The Usual Suspects, which he was in, and then they're gonna do like a Q&A, and then they're gonna present him with the award. So I got into town. I got to meet, like, it was all really last minute, and I actually got to meet him. I got to meet Victor from Breaking Bad too. And then there was like this really tall white guy. This guy was like 6'2", 6'3". Tall white guy, blondish, grayish hair, older, maybe like 60s, 70s, like that kind of age range. He walked right past me, and I'm like, man, like he's dressed like really nice in his suit. Like this guy must be somebody. He looks like really important. He's probably like a heavy hitter or something. We go out, we get to the theater, and they're like, all right, now we're gonna do the presentation. Here to present the award for lifetime achievement is Robert Redford. I'm like, oh shit, Robert Redford is here too. And he came out, and it was the guy that walked past me in the hall. Like I didn't recognize Robert Redford in the hall. I'm like, he fucking just walked past me, and I didn't even recognize him. I'm like, I didn't know he was that tall. So I'm counting that as having met him because he walked right past me. But I've met
Right?
him. I've met other people from like Better Call Saul too when they did the pop-up location of Los Pollos Hermanos.
Oh, crazy.
But
Yeah.
probably the biggest one, I met Stone Cold Steve Austin
Oh, crazy.
2 years ago. Yeah, and got a picture with him. So that would probably be
That's
the top one. Oh, and then when I went to that Tom Petty concert, like right before they came on stage, like I walked right past them when I was going to the bathroom between the two bands. So I guess I could kind of say I met Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
crazy. What about you, Evil?
Yeah. The last time I ever met a celebrity, well, two celebrities. One was Lita from the WWE
Oh,
because
nice.
I was a big Attitude Era fan.
When'd
I
you meet
know
her?
some of you, huh?
When'd you meet Lita?
I met her at Comic Palooza down in Houston in 2014.
Oh wow.
But also, I also met Jay Muse or Jason Muse. Jay
Yeah,
and Silent
Jay
Bob.
Silent Bob.
Yeah, and when I got up to him, I wanted to ask him like a million questions, but when I actually got onto him, I pretty much froze up like Raj from Big Bang Theory. It's like, "Hi, Mister Muse." Yeah, I was that starstruck. I mean, I wanted to ask this dude like a million questions, like what's been going on, if he's going to be doing any more movies with Kevin Kevin Smith, and how's the rehabilitation from heroin drugs or whatever. But the words just wouldn't come out of my mouth. And normally,
Yeah.
I'm the type of guy who doesn't give a shit about being starstruck when it comes to celebrities. But him, I was like, I was frozen.
Just
Yeah.
let it go, man.
Hell,
I've had like
yeah.
I only had one time where I freaked out like meeting somebody because, like I said, I went on like Warped Tour with my cousin, so I met a lot of people in bands, and then I met this guy. I went all the way to New York to see this artist named Tycho, and his name is Scott Hansen, and I was like taking pictures in front of the restaurant that's like famous in Seinfeld, in New York, and I saw him
Hmm.
walking like out to get like with coffee, and I like literally like I was like freaking out, and he was like scared of me. I was like, oh my god, dude. I was like, Scott, I love you. Oh my gosh. And he was like, okay. I was like, oh my gosh, can you sign my like I didn't have anything on me. I was like, can you sign my like receipt? And I like handed him a receipt. But yeah, I don't think I've ever met anybody big like you guys. Like I haven't met any like A-list celebrities or anything. Do you believe in superheroes?
Well, knowing that
Uh,
superheroes aren't real, I don't believe in them, but I do. I have enjoyed. Actually, one of my favorite shows growing up was the original Incredible Hulk TV show. And obviously, if you grew up in the '90s like me, you watched Spider-Man the animated series, Batman,
Mm-hmm.
Batman Begins, all that stuff. So I definitely grew up Batman Beyond or whatever. I definitely grew up with that. Never was big into comic books, but I did watch the
I love
cartoons like
Rick and
X-Men and all
Morty.
that. Um, but as far as believing in superheroes, I guess define superheroes. I don't believe there's actually Clark Kent flying around because I know that it's fiction. But I mean, if you want to say everyday superheroes, sure. I guess it just depends on your definition of superhero.
Right, that's what I was gonna say. I
Uh-huh.
think I think people can be very good superheroes.
I'll drink to that one.
Oh goodness.
Oh, where's my root beer?
I'm
There it is.
gonna end the stream in about like 15 minutes, so I'm gonna try and find us some more questions. What's your guys' favorite Disney character?
Disney character?
Yeah.
Uh, what would I? Hmm.
We'll get back to you.
Yeah,
Well, mine's kind of a split Disney and uh, Square Enix character, but my favorite Disney character is Sora from Kingdom Hearts. But it's kind of a Square Enix
Nice.
character too. 100 random questions to ask your husband.
are you cheating on me?
Yes,
Have you cheated on me? Will you cheat on me?
I know. What else could you ask? 100 funny questions to ask friends. Oh, I was gonna ask you guys actually, what is your favorite like horror stuff like category so far?
You talking about past or present?
Whatever, just favorite.
Mm. Eh, in the past, mine has always been like the mindfuck horror slasher 80s genre. Krueger, Voorhees, Michael Myers, and the occasional paranormal ghosty movies like Paranormal Activity or fucking Poltergeist.
Yeah, I was saying
Yeah.
like yeah, you're on the right track. I was just saying like do you prefer stuff that has to do with like ghosts or like real things like burglaries and like rape and just crime murders or like
Uh,
um whatever alien stuff or you know
I mean, I've been trying to get into the whole alien horror genre ever since the original Aliens came out by Ridley Scott. Um, but ever since then, Hollywood has been making a lot of shit lately, and I mean, I just lost interest in the Hollywood horror genre altogether. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'll take a look at it to see for myself and judge for myself. But if it's not going to give me that scare factor or shock
it's been
value, then I'm not interested.
yeah, it's been a really long time since something has scared me. I wake up every single morning and I put on a horror movie every single morning. Like whether I'm getting ready or like if I'm staying like home, not going out, I'll sit and watch the whole thing. But it takes a lot to scare me. I was watching this movie called It Follows, and
that's
Hmm.
really good.
there was this part that actually scared me where it was like the thing was coming in the door, and the girl, and it turned into this giant thing, and it kind of scared me. But other than that, I'm pretty down to that stuff. What about you, Sino?
Uh, Not really big on horror, but I do like psychological thrillers. That'd be my pick.
Yeah,
And
I love.
as far as favorite Disney character, it'd probably be Donald Duck. Growing up, those were always my favorite cartoons, so I'd have to pick Donald.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Have you ever played Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah, I had it back in the
Hmm.
day on PS2.
I think it's so cool that they put Donald and Goofy in as your like main allies. I think that's
Yeah,
why people don't give it a chance because they're like, oh, Disney's lame or whatever, you know. But it's really
right.
not. It's like a really great game. It's very like Final Fantasy.
Yeah, it's very good. Although it is kind of weird to hear Donald Duck talk in Japanese when it's untranslated.
I've never heard him. I've never heard him talk in Japanese.
Oh man, if you go
See?
into any let's play of the unimported Kingdom Hearts, or whether it be one, two, or the new trailers for number three, yeah, it's freaking weird. You can just hear him like tugging,
Oh, and
and sounding like
I just watched the trailer without the sound too for number three. I
yeah,
bet it was in Japanese.
it was actually.
Oh my goodness. Here's one. Here's a good one. When you guys were little, what did you want to be? Tino?
Musician.
Evil?
Ruler of the universe. No, I'm just kidding. I actually wanted to be an astronaut.
Me too.
I like space exploration.
And I actually fucking work for NASA. I wouldn't even know that I would do that in a million years.
How's that coming along, by the way? Or is that like a personal thing?
Oh no, it's fine. It's pretty stressful. I definitely like need to practice calculus more, but
Mm,
I'm still like on an internship, so it's not like full blown, but it's really stressful. But it's really awesome too. Like as I'm taking calculus right now, and it's just like confusing to me, but I think I'll get it. But as far as like, it's definitely a dream job.
hey, you got it. You got to reach for the stars and achieve your dreams. In other words, you can do it.
Yeah, thanks.
No problem.
I like the only thing I hate about it is like um, it's like really time consuming. Like I'm right now I'm only taking like two online classes, and so I've been able to concentrate on my channel. But I literally took an entire month off my channel, and I hate that. Like I wish that there was like more time in the day. Like I wish I could do my school, my internship, like my job, and my YouTube channel. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I hate that like I've gotten to a point where I'm kind of like not like burned out, but I feel like there's just like the pool of stories right now is like really low or something. Because I used to
Hmm.
get people sending me stories all the time, which was really cool. But like Sina was saying earlier, most of the stories I get are off Reddit, and it's like a lot of the times it's like kind of the same type of story over and over again.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Let's
Yeah, I don't go on much on Reddit anymore. Not just because there's no whatchamacallit shock value in the stories anymore, because like you said, it's like the same shit over and over again. But have you heard about that one news article Reddit posted up about the people that post them not let's not meet stories and bitching about
Yeah,
those
I saw a bit of it, but I didn't really
yeah.
read too much.
Well, pretty much maybe I can pull it up here, but most of those people that have been bitching about narrators reading their shit without permission, i.e., I know Let's Read and Swamp Dweller were the ones that got tagged into that into that article. And me and a few of my people have been talking about it on the Skype call. And my philosophy is, if you didn't want if you didn't want these narrators to narrate all your Let's Not Meet stories, then why the fuck have you posted it on the public domain? Because
Right.
Well, it's not public domain; it's a private website.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Sino, is could you like explain that to us more?
And like
Because
using you, obviously people don't read the terms and conditions, but it's like by using any website, you're agreeing and to abide. You're agreeing to abide by the terms and of services and conditions, and obviously each Reddit forum has their own guidelines. But from the stuff that I've read, it's like by posting on Reddit, you're retaining your copyright. And just because, like, how do I explain this? It's like in any conception or body of work, it's like the copyright is implied, if that makes sense. It's like by you writing and posting a blog, just because it's on a public website doesn't mean that it's up for public consumption in the sense of they can do whatever they want by you disseminating it onto the internet. So it's like if I wanted to go like that new Stephen King movie that's out, The Dark Tower. If I just because I bought the book, The Dark Tower, doesn't give you the right to narrate it. You know, it's like you have to you own.
But what I was
as a creator, you own rights over your own intellectual property, and you retain the copyright. So it's like if you're taking somebody else's intellectual property and you're using it for your own gain, monetary or otherwise, it's like that's a violation of the copyright.
But what I thought,
whether you give credit or not.
But what I thought, Sino, was I was reading stuff about it too when I first started posting stories from Reddit, and it does say in their like terms of service that like if you decide to post on their website that you don't have to give the individual person credit, that you just have to give Reddit credit.
If anything, we're pretty much putting their names out in public.
But I wouldn't mind if they put another thing out there saying like you need to give the user credit or whatever. Like, I'd be fine with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like it's like that you have to negotiate between yourself and the author. It's like it's like the impetus isn't on the
I'm not
author.
Claiming the story as my own. You know what I mean?
I know it's like if you use a song, if you use like a Led Zeppelin song in your video, yeah, you can say I don't claim any ownership, but it's like you're still violating copyright by even uploading it to YouTube, because in the terms and conditions of YouTube, anything you upload in the video or a live stream on YouTube, you're saying that you own full rights to use and you're the sole copyright owner, unless you have a Creative Commons or any other type of license or royalty-free license. You're saying by uploading anything on YouTube in the video or a live stream that you own all rights to the content that you're using. So by saying that, you're already violating the copyrights of somebody else, the author of the story, by uploading it to YouTube. You can go and record the story and not upload it to YouTube, but when you upload it to YouTube under the terms and conditions of YouTube, you're stating by using that story, reading that story, you're saying that you own the copyright to the story. Whether you say in the video description that you don't claim ownership is irrelevant. You're violating the copyright by uploading it to YouTube. And I remember I read somebody, there were a lot of people who were saying, you know, well, if these authors don't want their stories narrated on YouTube, they should put that in the body of the story. Well, the impetus isn't on the author to say, hey, I don't want you narrating my story. The impetus is on you to get permission, and ignorance of the law isn't an excuse. So it's like, just because you didn't know that you couldn't do it doesn't make it okay. And that was like my big thing with a lot of these people who were like, especially like Pete Buster, who was like, oh wow, I remember he was like, oh yeah, can you believe these people who are like doing all these copyright claims? It's like, now I'm only going to be doing like playing the like all these.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. I wasn't
just like I never agreed. Like it's
so is
people who just have no idea what fair use is.
Yeah, and like that's. I mean, I understand like ignorance, whatever you can't. But I legitly like want to know about it. Like you know what I mean? Like I don't understand like why. It's like, what's the difference between me reading somebody's story and somebody else sitting at their computer reading the story, but when it's on a public site that even says in their thing, like in Reddit's terms of service does say that if you post it here, then it's kind of like fair use.
Well, I've read what they said. I've read the terms, and it's like it's not saying that it's fair use. It's saying that by posting, you allow Reddit like unrestricted use to post it on their website. It doesn't
And
say.
then
It doesn't
also,
say, and it says that you don't by posting to Reddit that you don't like surrender any rights to the copyright of the content that you post.
well, maybe you and I will go over this like, personally too, but I thought that I read in there that you only had to give Reddit credit for using a story if you're posting it.
Oh no, because they don't.
Because
Because they.
because
I mean, and
because
that would
the
contradict their own.
authors are surrendering their, rights to Reddit.
No, they
You know what I mean?
specifically say that that's not what happens. They specifically say that by uploading,
Uh,
you're granting us a right to like distribute it, but you retain the copyright to it. It's like you allow us, you give us an unrevocable right to publish it, but you own the copyright to it, and it's like you don't surrender any of the copyright to it.
so how would
So it's
we
like
go?
I haven't seen
How would
anything
we
where it
go
said that
about?
you had to only credit Reddit because that would go against like their own terms of use. Like that would contradict the terms of use that says that by posting to Reddit that you retain your copyright for your post.
Yeah. Well, so like that's what I did in the beginning because I wasn't sure about it. Is I used to like talk to the authors and ask them if I could use their story. But it's like,
I'm sorry if I got you paranoid.
huh? Oh, no way. I really want to just be more knowledgeable in it because I want to know what I can and cannot do. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if like posting people's stories on Reddit is somehow like wrong, I would rather figure out a way to do it where people do get credit. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. Like, I just don't know like how it'd be possible when you're trying to post like 2 stories a week to like you were saying, you don't want to wait like weeks possibly for an author to get back to you.
Right.
But
Yeah.
what would we do? So
Just what I do is like any downtime that I had when I was narrating, I would spend reading. A good place to start is like the top, like right on the landing page of like let's say like Let's Not Meet.
hmm
Um, you have like if you organize it like by default, they organize the top stories as the ones that get the most upvotes. So like the
right,
most thumbs up, the stories with the most thumbs up at the time, and they're usually like the latest published stories. I'll go on there and I'll see, especially you can see how good of a response you're going to get if they've been active recently. So like if they just posted the story like in the last day or two, and they're replying to comments in the past few hours, it's really likely that they'll reply to your message for permission. But I just go through and I try to read. I got to, I figured that I have about a 30 to 40% success rate of getting a reply, whether it's yes or no, for permission. So I
yeah,
figure if I get like 30 or 40% reply response rate, it's like the more stories, the more authors that I message, the more responses that I'll get. So I was just always messaging authors for permission for their stories to just build up a backlog of stories that I could feature in future videos. Even if I only
yeah,
needed 5, I would message 20 authors just to be sure. So,
right,
and then if I got replies back, I would have fodder for future videos.
yeah. That's a really good idea.
And you could just have like a
Wow.
a default message that you send people, and I would just be like, my default was like, "Hey, my name is Sino. I really enjoyed your story. I narrate videos on YouTube. I enjoyed your story. Would you mind if I narrated on my channel, giving you credit as author and linking back to your original post? Here's my channel. Let me know what you think either way, or if you have any questions. Thanks." And then
Yeah,
from there,
that's
some people would be like, "Yes, that's fine. Send me a link when you're done." Or
cool.
yes, but I don't want my name or my like link back to my story. You can use my story, but just don't link back to me because I don't want for whatever
Right.
reason X, Y, and Z they don't want like a
Yeah.
link back to their story, or they'll be like, no, I've gotten a lot of people messaging me, but I'm just not ready at the moment. But thanks for asking, and if I change my mind, I'll definitely let you know. But it's just like common courtesy. It's like it's no different than what I was talking before we started broadcasting, where I was telling you about the numerous copyright claims that I submitted for people who would just download my entire video and re-upload it
Yeah.
to YouTube with my video description and all, but take out my social media links. It's like it's the same thing. Just because I upload a video of my content or whatever content it is to YouTube, and it's YouTube is a quote unquote public website that anybody can view my video on. doesn't
Right.
mean that you can just go and download my video and do with it whatever you want. You know?
Yeah. 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 See, like that's what like I definitely agree with you, like all the way. I just didn't know like I was trying to read, stuff, whatever, and and see if I was like doing stuff correctly, but I'm still like fairly new at that stuff. I didn't really have any, one to ask, and I don't want to bug you too much,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, no problem. I don't mind asking. I wish more people would ask or like get a second
Yeah,
opinion instead of
definitely.
just like being stuck in the real, what is it called, the wheelhouse, like their own wheelhouse, and like with, well, this is the way this is the way I think it is, so this is the way it
The way
is.
it is, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like
Yeah.
people are really ignorant. If you just do like a really simple Google search, I wish people would, about what fair use actually is or isn't.
Yeah,
It's like,
and I learned from my video the copyright thing. It's like frustrating because like I made sure I went in and I asked the person of the website we talked about, and I asked them. I said, "Hey, did you make this video?" And they said, "Yeah," and they sent me like kind of like a blueprint thing of them making the video, and then I like reported it to YouTube that this person was like scamming me and saying they were reporting like a copyright claim on my video, but it was like got it off of a free website and like had the person's permission and everything, which I didn't even need, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But yeah, it's just all the learning curve.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Chad says people probably write a lot of fake stories on Reddit. Why not write your own horror story and narrate it? Nothing is more scarier than the monsters in the back of your mind. Well, see, the thing is, there's
Yeah,
really
that's
no there is
I've
no 100% way to know if the story is true or not. But the thing is if it's a good story, and people claim it to be true, like I'll give the author the benefit of the doubt. But it's like
right.
obviously when you're reading a story, there's been plenty of times where I'm like, oh yeah, this is BS, and I just won't narrate it.
Right.
And then it's like
Yeah.
then the it's really down to the viewer whether the viewer believes the story or not. It's just like at the end of the day, I just look at it. It's just entertainment. You know, if
Yeah,
if you
that's
think
why
that the
like
story's fake, if it's a good story, it's a good story. Like I
like
always give the author the benefit of the doubt when I use the story. If I don't believe this the author for a second, then I just don't use the story.
like how there's some channels like I think Corpse Husband is just true stories, right?
Hmm.
I think so. Anyway, I know there's ones that are just dedicated to creepypastas, and then I know that there's some just dedicated to true stories, and then I know that there's some mixed, like myself or whatever. But it's like cool. I mean, it was cool before. I kind of feel guilty now about Reddit, but there was a category no sleep, and it's like cool because it says like on their thing like these are a mix of true and you know fiction stories, and it's like up to you to know whether it's true or not. So that's kind of like what I want to do with my channel. Is I'm not going to tell you whether it's true or not true.
Yeah,
You just gotta
Hmm.
figure it out for yourself.
yeah. At the end, I really don't. As long as the story's entertaining. I mean, some people I guess feel like gypped if they if somebody says it's a true story and then it turns out to not be true. But I mean, you know, I remember there was a story that I really really enjoyed from Mr. Nightmare, like way back in the day, and it was the story of a guy who was driving on a highway, and that he came up to it was just like a two-lane highway, and like there was a car parked along both like across both lanes, and he started slowing down, and he had like a gun under the seat of his car, and like there were two bodies outside of the car, like on the ground, and the trunk was open, and there was like a suitcase of clothes like scattered all across the road, and he was like, "What the fuck is going on?" So he kind of drove around them, didn't stop, and then he got a few feet away from the car, and he looked in his rearview mirror, and he saw that the two guys, like they were lying in the street, got up, and then a bunch of these people came out of the woods, like a group of like 20, 30 people came out of the woods, and he's like, "I never floated so hard, and I was so glad that I didn't stop." Well, it's like that was in the video that was for true stories, but then I came across the story on No Sleep, and it's actually a fictional story, but it was labeled under just like a true story. But it
Yeah,
didn't bother me when I found out. I'm like, oh, this was a No Sleep story, but I'm like, it was like because I believed it at the time
right.
when I heard the story. I was like, the suspension of disbelief was there, where I was like, yeah, that I can see that definitely
Right.
happening, and it was a pretty creepy story. So it's like I didn't feel gypped, but I guess some people do. But I don't know. And it's like
Yeah.
also I don't know. I've never been big on horror, so I don't think I could write a story that would be horror, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you'd have to. Why do you read horror stories then?
Well, it's interesting if it's a good story. If it's what it doesn't matter really the genre, like especially like with books or whatever. But like I first started narrating them because I found them on YouTube and I enjoyed listening to them, and I thought it could be something I could do, like just for fun at first. But then it actually started taking off, and I got pretty successful uh,
Yeah.
on YouTube. But then it's like I don't know. It's like it was just a really interesting thing for me to read the horror. But
Yeah, I
I was
get you.
like I said, I was never really big into horror. But like the thing that got me hooked on the stories in the first place was the stories that it was like, man, like I can identify with that story, and I could see it. Like I could identify with the character in the story or the situation, and I could just imagine how I would react in the situation. Like there
Yeah.
are some really really good authors who like have a really good way of painting the picture with the story, and then it's like wow, like you get enthralled in the story as reading it or listening to it. So
Oh yeah, most definitely.
that's why. But just
Okay, wait.
because I'm
Okay.
not a fan, personally, I'm not a fan of horror, so I don't know if I could write a story that I would a like or b think would be something I would be interested in narrating because I'm not a big fan of the genre.
Well, I was gonna answer your question. Chad said, "I feel if I narrated stories, I'd find more pleasure narrating stories I wrote." But just imagine that, so having to write all of your stories
I know,
yourself.
right?
Okay,
Especially
I'll just
original
give you a
stories.
challenge, Chad. Just write 10 stories yourself, and I bet you that you can. But oh, I wanted to say this. Do either of you guys have tattoos?
Do we have what?
Tattoos, sorry.
Me, no, no tattoos.
You
I
do?
actually have one.
What is it?
It's on my left forearm. It's my geek tattoo. It's actually the insignia for Assassin's Creed,
Oh,
and in the
cool.
middle of it is the Jedi Order.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Would you get a tattoo,
I don't think so. I wouldn't be opposed to it, but it depends on the tattoo. But like the more I think about it, I don't see the point in me personally getting a tattoo. If other people like it, that's cool. People can do what they want, but like for me, I really don't see myself getting a tattoo,
Guess
especially
how
now
many
because everybody
tattoos?
has one. So it's like the
I
entire
got I got
lure of
very
having a
few
tattoo.
tattoos. Oh, sorry.
When tattoos actually meant something, like even 20, 30 years ago. But now everybody can just get a tattoo, and it's like if everybody's doing it, it's just like whatever.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, I feel like a lot of people have just been getting like random tattoos, but like I got my first tattoo when I was 16, and I was kind of like upset when it blew up. You know, like I've had piercings and stuff since I was 12, and like all of a sudden everybody has piercings, everybody has tattoos. So I know what you mean by that. Guess how many tattoos I have though? No guesses.
Uh,
Chat says no limitation to
two,
my imagination.
3, over 9,000.
Over 9,000. um, I actually have 11 tattoos.
Damn.
Yeah, I haven't gotten one in a while though. I kind of got most of mine at the same time, but I haven't gotten a new tattoo for like 4 years, maybe less than that, maybe 2. Yeah, I think 2 years ago is when I got my last tattoo. But like, if you saw me in person, you probably like wouldn't think I had that many because mine is so spread out.
I seen you on Facebook. Does that count?
I don't know if I have my tattoos on. Oh wait, I have one, two, three. I think I have 3 or 4 of them on
Hmm.
Facebook.
Eh. I I haven't really check them out because I didn't want you to think I was stalkerish type whatever. Yeah. And to answer your question from earlier, the most likely two people are going to recognize me is you and Katie because both of you are on my Facebook. But yeah, like I said, I haven't checked out any of your other tattoos, but maybe sometime in the near future. I don't know. Whenever I feel like it.
I'll just tell
That's
you.
the answer, right?
I'm not going to tell you all of them, but I'll tell you the interesting ones. I have a
Mm-hmm.
crescent moon on my finger. I have a little sister from Bioshock on my ankle. I have my area code on the back of my ankle. I have an ohm symbol on the top of my foot. I have Calvin and Hobbes tattooed on the left side of my arm. And I have a uh, Moogle on the back of my arm from Final Fantasy. And I have a paperclip on the back side of my like under my earlobe
A paperclip.
on the left side. Yeah, it's actually really crazy. Here, I'll just tell you the short story, okay? I don't know if you guys will be able to find this, but it's a short horror film, and it's called Critic, and it's about this
Mm-hmm.
guy who kidnaps this critic who gives him a bad
Hmm.
like rating in the newspaper for his restaurant. So he kidnaps the guy and he like ties him up in his bathroom, and he does all this stuff to like torture him. And the last thing he does is he tells him he's gonna let him go if he gives him a 5 star rating on his restaurant. And he gets out a paper clip and he just keeps repeating over and over. It's just a paper clip. It's just a paper clip, and he puts it in his mouth and he straightens it out and he pokes the dude's eye out with a paper clip. And so I saw it with my friends, and we all got paper clip tattoos. That's it. So yeah, it's the most random. And see, you know, my stuff is meaningful.
Right.
Oh, the first tattoo I got was a heartless sign from Kingdom Hearts on my left eye, and I got it when I was 16. So I'm kind of obsessed. Oh my gosh. You guys want to do one more question before we go?
Is that the question?
Of course.
No.
Oh,
No. No.
sure.
See, no.
So you want two more questions?
Yeah. Two more questions. Oh, goodness. Okay. Uh, how about, so you know, you pick one and I'll pick one. Okay.
All right. Let's see if I find a good question really quickly.
Oh, I got a good one.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. What are you most afraid of?
Probably like the like. It's a stupid cliche thing to say, but I'm really not scared of a lot of things. But probably like dying in a horrific way, because that's like one of the, obviously like one of the things I don't want to happen. Like that, I have not nightmares, but like I'm paranoid about dying like in a fire or like in by drowning. So probably that.
It's a good answer. Evil?
uh, honestly, this may be another cliche thing, but dying alone.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
You got to take everybody in the
Yeah.
room with you, preferably
Well,
in a
you know what I
fire
mean.
or drowning.
Yeah.
Mine are both really silly, but I'm not afraid of dying. I'm not afraid of like a lot of things because I've been through kind of a lot of shit and just kind of makes you stronger. But I'm not afraid of like most things that most people are afraid of. Um, but I am afraid of the sound of wind chimes, and I was super afraid of aliens until this past couple of years. Like aliens used
Mm.
to scare the shit out of me because like I don't know if you both have heard the story about alien thing, but I was
Yeah.
really fucking scared of aliens. But that's why I kind of made it my thing. You know how Batman did? He's afraid of bats. So he made himself a giant bat. That's
Yeah.
why I made my like channel kind of like based on like aliens, and I'm wearing an alien mask on my thing.
Hmm.
But the reason I'm afraid of wind chimes is because when I was a little kid, a tornado um, hit this house that I was like, my mom got me off for this at this woman's house that lived by us for like daycare while she worked. And there was a tornado warning, and so she got like all the kids down in the basement. And for some reason, I ran into the garage instead of down in the basement. She had like 12 kids over, so she didn't know I was missing. And so the tornado hit the house. She was like this crafty lady, so she made homemade wind chimes. So her entire garage was just filled with wind chimes on the wall. And so when the tornado hit the house, it ripped the roof off of the garage that I was in, and I like just fell like and put my knees to my chest, and all of the like, wind chimes like fell all around me. It was like such a horrible sound. So yeah, like when I hear wind chimes, it kind of like scares the shit out of me. Yep.
Yep.
Let's see.
So you know,
Here's a good question. Is there anything you wish would come back into fashion?
hmm. I kind of wish that like '90s fashion was still a thing. I feel like
I
everybody in
agree.
the '90s wore like grunge clothes, and I think that that's just perfect.
Well,
What
you're
about
in
you?
luck. I still. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, no, go ahead, Evil.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was about to say that you're in luck that I still wear '90s clothes. I'm st- I'm just
Hell
missing the
yeah.
flannel. I'm still missing the flannel shirts.
Gotta go get some flannels.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Let's see. I guess you call them record stores. I wish those would come back. I know we're at a point of no return. Like music, the music business
Yeah.
and movie business is what it is, and like everything is just like
Dude, I wish
Walmart, Target, Amazon.
Blockbuster would come
But it's
back.
like it was so awesome going into like Sam Goody or FYE or Tower
Yeah.
Records or stuff like that. But
Dude, I
I
agree.
mean, there's no going back now. But I think it'd be cool, like especially used record stores.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some, but like they're really few and far between.
I wish
I wish
that
there was like
Blockbuster
more.
would come back. I miss
Yeah,
going
that could be
to
cool.
Blockbuster. Like Hollywood Video. Dudes, thank you for coming on my stream. Sorry that I'm so lame, but
No, it's cool.
What? You're not lame.
you guys are awesome. We
You
won't
are.
Thank you.
we won't
So are
talk
you.
long, and I figure out how to live stream. I mean, me, but Cino is there for support. Anyways, guys, I'm getting tired actually for once. I think that like all three of us stay up too late
Yep.
because most
Yeah,
of the
pretty
time when
much.
I'm on Instagram and I message you guys, you're still awake. Or my like random live streams at like 3 in the morning. Yeah. Anyways, guys, um, I don't know if you guys are gonna be up still, but I'll message you both. And uh,
Yeah, I'm
thank you
definitely
for
gonna
joining
crash.
us, and
Yeah.
thank you for everybody who joined too in the chat and everything. So
Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for tuning in.
yeah, thank you. Sorry
You
if it was
fucking rock,
boring.
guys.
Thank you for coming, Evil. Thank you for coming. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, thanks for
Thank
having
you
me.
for having me.
All right, I'll I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. See you later.
Bye, future
See ya.
future people. Holiday. Bye.
Bye.